Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you some insanely easy ways to make money online. Now, I've been doing it for 15 years. I haven't actually had a job for 15 freaking years. Yes, I've been doing this online for 15 years, making money. Okay, here's some very simple ways that I kind of like. I'm going to just tell you some sort of lazy ways to do it. And you might not think this is lazy, but this is what I call smart lazy, where you use your brain instead of your brawn. Okay, so instead of having to go out to Goodwill and hunt for deals and have to continually list different items, this is just selling the same item over and over and over. And all you have to do is maximize it, at first, and then you just scale it up. And then you just keep relisting the same advertisement. Matter of fact, you can automate the listings. You could even hire someone or have your child, if you have a teenager, ship the stuff for you and give them a bigger allowance or whatever. Or you could hire someone to do it eventually, and maybe at first you would do it, but once you have it all set up, you can basically streamline it, is what I'm trying to say. And actually, there's other things that are even more lazy you can do even on top of this, which I'll also mention in this video. But okay, so for instance, obviously Samsung Galaxies are extremely popular. So I thought to myself, okay, what's a good item? Well, maybe they're chargers. And actually, I didn't even spell charger right. But apparently it came up anyways, didn't it? Well, maybe what was going on there? That's kind of weird. Let's look at that. Charging cord. Okay, he's just spelled it differently. Well, as you can see here, this is a huge lot of charging cords. Right? 50 of them for $54.99. Now, whenever you're dealing with something cheap like this, the idea is you could turn around and sell this for a lot more than you're paying, obviously. For example, let's just do a simple search. I just deleted 2 of the words and I just hit search, right? And what do you see right here? A charger cable, 887 sold at $775, right? That sounds pretty good, right? Now, let's just say, okay, how much will it cost you to ship it to a customer? With tracking, $2, $2.07 is what I usually pay to get tracking. And then you gotta have a bubble mailer. You can get bubble mailers for easily 50 cents just going to the dollar store, because you get 2 for $1. I mean, you can get them cheaper than that too. You can actually buy them on eBay for cheaper. You can get it down to as low as 25 cents each. So, we're talking the cost of shipping, we're talking the bubble mailer, and we're talking the item itself, right? And if you go back here, just looking at this one lot here, 50x, right? 50x for $54.99. So what is that? That's like $1.10 each, right? 55 bucks, $1.10 each. $1.10 plus, let's just say $2.10 plus $1.10 plus, let's say you're not cheap. Let's just say you're lazy. Let's say 50 cents. So you got $2.10, $1.10, and 50 cents. What does that add up to? That's $3.20, $3.70. $3.70 total is your cost. Plus then you got eBay fees. What are eBay fees? 15% of this. What is that? Okay, $7.75 times 0.15 plus $3.70. Wow, we're already getting up there, aren't we? Yeah, we are. It's actually up to about $4.75. Okay, so you make $3 per sale here if you calculate all that up. So that's counting every freaking fee you can think of in the world. And if you buy 50 of them times $3 net profit, you're talking 150 bucks. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, at least to me it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a good start, especially if you're just trying to get a small item going, right? If you just want to make some quick money, obviously these things sell pretty fast. You could go click in here. You could go click on the amount sold, and you can see how often they sell. And you can see he sells a lot a day. Look at that. That's a few. Yeah, that's a few there, isn't it? All those are March 18th, as you notice. Oh my goodness, what is that? That's like freaking 30, 40, 50. I don't know how many that is. That's a lot. So he could actually be selling 30 a day. 30 a day times $3 each, that's $90. Technically speaking, you could probably make a living off this. Just this one item, if you do it right. If you don't mind shoving 30 of these in bubble mailers a day. And of course, if you have some auto stuff going on with the USPS, you can drop it all off and you wouldn't have to stand there in line and all that bull crap. You can just drop it off. But still, I mean, that's some work, but I mean, it's money. It's $90 a day. It's some work. Obviously, you're probably going to be putting in some hours. But I mean, if you don't got a job, it works, right? There you go. But I'm just starting with something small here. I'm just showing you something small. Of course, it's good to sell small stuff, but why not sell big stuff too, right? Why not sell some stuff that makes you a lot more money per sale? Instead of $3, you make $30 a sale. Sounds a little bit better, right? Then you only ship 5 items, and if you make $30 per each item, you're making $150, and it seems like a lot better deal, right? So, actually, backing up, this was just thinking out loud. I looked at a couple things. I first did DS Lite lot, and actually, let's back up another one because this one relates to what we were already talking about. Samsung Galaxies themselves. Obviously, these things are a little bit more expensive each, right? So what goes on here is you can buy in lots. Now, of course, you got to be a little bit more careful. You probably don't want this lot here. Maybe something like this, but you want to get a low price. You don't want to be paying ridiculous prices. So you got to kind of look into stuff, okay? And you got to basically pull out another eBay window, and you got to do some calculating and stuff. And the whole idea is, at first it's going to be some work, but you'll eventually figure this out. It might take you a few hours, but you're going to figure out the pattern. You're going to find some good sellers. They have some good product, and they often redo this over and over. So if you find a perfect match here, let's say you look into one of these here. Actually, you have to probably look into a lot of them, but let's say you look into them and you find one where you can double your money. Okay, so you buy, let's say 5 Samsung Galaxy whatever model, and let's say it's a good deal. They're in like new condition, or let's say they're maybe manufacturer refurbished, and you can turn around and sell them for double what you paid. The idea is you would then also have to get the charger, and you would have to get whatever accessories are needed for that cell phone. So you would, and in some cases they already have them all with it. Sometimes the manufacturer refurbished, they come in just a white plain box and it's got everything with it. Okay, I used to actually do this stuff about 10 years ago. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm telling you something I used to like doing because I was kind of lazy. And actually there's a more lazy way to make money than this, but this is a pretty good one. This is pretty good. Okay, so like let's just say you find 5, and you find a good supplier, and he continually is putting up these lots because he continually gets them in. Okay, so then you get a lot of 5, and you also go and buy the chargers and whatever else is needed, and then you turn around and you ship them in a box to the customer, or you get it where it's already completely in the box and it has everything with it, and you ship it to the customer. And let's say you make double your money when you do it. And then you can just continually do this over and over. You can keep buying from the same supplier. I used to do it way back, like I said, 10 years ago. I did it with something called the Sidekick. I think it was a T-Mobile Sidekick. So like I said, it was 10 years ago. And it was really spiffy back then. And I was actually tripling my money because I would get these. What was going on is the Sidekick had 2 different controls on it. It had like a stick control, and it had like a sort of like a gamepad controls you see, where they have a stick and then also have like the arrow one. It actually had both. And what would happen is sometimes, I think the stick one would sometimes become defective. So a lot of people would turn them in to get replaced with a new one. And that's why there's like tons of these. They're all, and a lot of them were very good condition. The joystick didn't work right. Or sometimes they just turned them in to get a new phone or whatever it might have been. And I would turn around and sell them for really cheap. a lot cheaper than the retail, but I would be getting them for like pennies on the dollar because apparently nobody wanted to buy them for a high price. So I'd buy like 5 at a time for like nothing, for like, $40 or something, and turn around and sell each one of them for $80, and they often sell retail for like 200 and some bucks back then. So it was a good deal and nobody complained. They didn't care that the little joystick didn't work because you could still use the other thing to do the exact same thing. So it didn't matter. It still worked fine. But of course, that's not really, these days it'd be better to just find it where it's all working all together, like refurbished or something. And like I said, you can often buy from the same guy over and over and over. And you could even be selling this hand over fist on eBay individually as individual units. And I was getting so lazy, like I would forget to buy it sometimes. Like, oh, we got some new orders. Damn, I got to go buy some, And I go over to the supplier on eBay, click, buy it, ship it to my house. Actually, I was shipping it to my brother's house because he was working with me. But I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. But that's kind of the idea, right? But I mean, obviously, there's other things you can do. On my other channel, I was talking about a clever technique for finding niche items, and I'll just briefly mention this. I used to buy from this company a lot, Heartland America, and when I was doing dropship, and actually this leads into what I was talking about. Dropship is being the ultimate lazy way to make money, but of course it's a smart lazy. You can't be a dumbass and do this. You have to use your head. But the whole idea is work smart, not hard, right? So that's kind of the idea. So I used to drop ship these Cube microwaves from Heartland America because this company is one of these unique companies where it's just big enough to have a lot of interesting items, but too small to be noticed by anybody. It's kind of a rural chain store-ish type of place, so a lot of people don't know about it. It's kind of like actually at like these semi gas stations kind of place, and actually they sell a lot of stuff that semi drivers would buy. They're really kind of niche, but what's really cool about them is they have a lot of really interesting niche items that are perfect for eBay. And I didn't notice it until I started looking through their magazine the other day, and I was like, damn, dude, this has got some killer stuff, that would really catch on eBay. And actually, I'll link up the video in this video so you can go check out all the stuff, but I'll just briefly mention some things. I'm not going to show you all the links, though, probably here, but maybe I'll show you a couple things. But, like, you see this here? It's like a long branch cutter. If you go look on eBay at these, let me see if I can look this up. Branch saw. These usually cost a ton of money, okay? Let's see. No, I mean like a chainsaw, not like a chainsaw. I don't like this thing. Wait, apparently I'm not doing this right. Oh, here we go. Yes, here we go. See how it's the same thing? $252. In this magazine, it's $99. If you can see that right there at the bottom. And the reason why is because it's niche. What they're doing is they're going away from gas powered and it's electric powered. And it's like hitting the market where somebody wants to buy this, but they don't want to fork out $250. So instead, you can buy this. And I found this over in China. You can buy this for like $50-$60 on AliExpress. You just go look it up on AliExpress. Again, I'll link up the video. Buy it for $50-$60. And the reason why it sells good is because it's a cheap version of this. Why would you want to go spend $250? When someone really wouldn't want to spend that much to cut off a hide limb, they just maybe want to spend $100, and you don't need to have a gas-powered one. It can be electric, and then, like I said, you can get it for like $50 in China. So then you can drop ship it to the customer. And with niche items, brand doesn't matter usually. If you ever look into niche items, you'll never notice there's any huge brands that anybody really knows. That's what you'll find out when you start looking. When it's something hugely popular and very mainstream, of course they have huge brand names. But here's another one that was right next to it that I thought was interesting. Make your Wi-Fi like go for 2 miles. Here it is, this thing. So it's like a little mini wireless tower type thing that actually makes your Wi-Fi go super far. And again, I went through all the links on my other video. I'll just link it up in this one. And there's actually a lot of interesting stuff I cover there. But that's kind of a interesting trick you can do when it comes to selling online, getting into niche items, and finding some niche items that you can drop ship from China to your customer. And like I said, niche items usually are non-branded anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You don't have to worry about that stuff. Another thing I was going to mention is just straight dropship, period. I have a dropship program myself called Sale Daddy Dropship. I have lots of people that sell for me. And I have very interesting items, usually electronics type items. And actually, they're brand name. A lot of them are brand name, not all of them. Some of them are shipped from America. Some of them are shipped from China, depending on what the item is. It's like 50-50 kind of. But the thing is it actually has good profit margins. And I usually split the profit 50-50 with the seller. So if you do sign up for my dropship program, that's even easier than having stuff bought in lots and shipped from your home, because you can just literally sell it online on eBay and then come and buy it from me. I go and ship it to your customer and give you a tracking number. You just keep the net profit in between. I had a guy that made a ton of money at Christmas on a few different items. Probably one of my top sellers, I think, ever. He sold over 1,000 items at Christmas. Okay, so and he made probably $30 or more per sale. I'm pretty sure. I'm not totally sure. I don't know what his pricing was, but it was probably around there. Okay, so he probably made an average $30 per sale, and he sold like 1,000 items at Christmas. So he probably made 30,000 net profit, and he's just one of my sellers. Okay, he's not. I have like many sellers, so just to give you an idea. So I don't know. I thought I would make this video because, obviously this channel here, I cover business sometimes. I also cover a lot of controversial, cultural-based topics, and I make videos that sort of piss people off sometimes, but I just do it for fun. This channel's kind of my fun channel where I just talk about culture or whatever I want to talk about. And I kind of like this, jabbing nature. I've seen other channels that do this, and I like how they run. I think they're kind of funny. So I thought I'd make this channel kind of like that. Actually, I was going to upload a really interesting video on crazy chases and angry people getting mad at skaters and bikers, but I'll have to do that later. I couldn't get the video to go the way I wanted to. So instead, I did this instead. But hopefully you learned something. Maybe you can make some money online using some of the ideas I've presented here.